Welcome to the Movies Pal. COVID may have shut the movie theaters down, but Master Chaos theaters are open. And I've got plenty of jumbo marshmallows and organic seaweed, so feel free to dig in. Tonight's movie is the Home Alone subgenre gets an upgrade in Becky. Let's go to the facts. Becky gets the distinction of being one of the rare 2020 films, believe it or not. It runs 93 minutes, directed by Jonathan Millot and Carrie Murnian, and stars Lulu Wilson, Kevin James, and Joel McHale. Becky is about a troubled girl named Becky. She has a very ineffectual father who is played by Joel McHale, and honestly, the only thing I didn't like about the movie was Joel McHale. I'm a big fan of Joel McHale. As a matter of fact, in this movie, his name is Jeff, so I couldn't help but connect him to his character Jeff Winger in Community. So in my mind, in my headcanon, he is Jeff Winger in this movie, and I was not a fan of this version of Jeff Winger, to be honest. I mean, maybe because I'm a father and I know how to talk to my children, and there's a certain way you do talk to your children when you want to discipline them, that Joel just never brought that. As far as I know, I don't think he has kids. I'm not going to go research that, but he just didn't come off as a real father to me. And when he tried, he was just a real pushover, milquetoast type of guy. And I don't know, honestly, he kind of gave dudes a bad name. That's beside the point. This movie is called Becky because it is about Becky. This movie is also about Paul Blart Mall Cop, who plays a convict here. And I think they went a little bit overboard with his tattoos. I personally think they went a little overboard with that giant swastika on the back of his head. At one point, he does take off his shirt, and he's covered in swastikas. Like the character just couldn't get enough swastikas on his body. He told the tattoo guy, put them everywhere. Put it, on the back of my head. I got like 2 on my back. I got 3 on my chest. Put them everywhere, bro. I love swastikas. I hope nobody cuts that out and uses that against me. Becky and her milquetoast dad head to a cabin in the woods for a lovely weekend together. He's looking to reconnect with his daughter, but she couldn't care less. But who should meet them there but her father's fiancé? Yes, apparently, as far as I know, she was not aware of this. It is sprung on Becky that her dad, not even a year after his wife died, has decided to remarry. And of course, this is not something that Becky is going to take lightly. I mean, she's already troubled and acting out and, being a real sourpuss. And this just, it rubs some salt in the wound. I mentioned Home Alone at the top of the show, so I think you know where I'm going with this. During a prison transfer, Paul Blart and his convict friends escape, and they head directly for the same cabin in the woods that Becky is sharing with her sprung-upon new family. Becky runs off once she hears the news about her new stepmother, and that's when the family runs into Paul Blart and his gang.
I'm looking for a key. It's about this big. It has this symbol engraved on it. You seen it? No. No. How about you? Have you seen it?
He's never been here before.
Well, that leaves little Becky. I need to speak to her.
She's not here. She's in Atlanta with her mom.
Yet her backpack and her phone are here. See, Jeff, I want to believe you. I really do, but you're not making it easy. Lucky for us, I brought a lie detector. So I'm going to ask again. Where's Becky?
Atlanta. wait.
Paul Blart and his minions are looking for some kind of key that will do something for someone or something. We don't know. It's actually just a MacGuffin. We don't ever find out what the key does. I'm not going to give away a lot of the good stuff. There's some really good surprises in the film. I'm not going to give any of those away, but I am going to share some of my favorite moments. Speaking of which, here comes my first favorite moment where, Paul Blart meets the business end of a key, and this happens.
You enjoying your snack? Oh, yeah. Cut it off, man. Cut it off. Come on. Easy.
Okay, here we go. You ready?
Just do it. Ah! 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 What the fuck is the problem? You fucking kidding me?
Sorry.
Now get the fuck outside and grab her before I decide you're too useless to keep around.
I probably should have warned you in advance that was sort of a graphic scene, or maybe I did that on purpose. I don't know. I'm a little devil, aren't I? Basically, her family is under siege, and Becky must become John McClane, or in this case, Kevin McAllister, by way of Jason Voorhees, because she is quite brutal, and take out the bad guys before they take out her and her family. I mentioned I wasn't going to give anything away, but I'm going to share my favorite kill in the movie. I'm not going to show all of it, but I'm going to show you the juicy parts. I'll warn you this time. It's graphic. And that's it. I'm not going to show you any more of the movie because I don't want to spoil anything. There's a lot of nice twists and turns in the film. And I got to be honest, Paul Blart is good. I was worried that he wouldn't be convincing as a menacing convict. But, they put a giant swastika on his head and it instantly convinced me that he was a bad guy. FYI, before you comment, I do know that it's Kevin James. I just call him Paul Blart because it's funnier that way. Lulu Wilson is also amazing as Becky. She's always been a good actress. I think everything she's been in has been, stellar in terms of her performances, from a child actor's point of view. She does fantastic in this, balancing scared little girl to crazy, psychotic, bloodthirsty murder child. And it is a lot of fun to watch. The one downbeat I have for the movie is that it does slow down quite a bit. It doesn't have the propulsive action of a Die Hard. It doesn't even have sort of the narrative intensity of Home Alone. But it is a very brutal film. It is a very dark film. And at the same time, it's also a very enjoyable film and a very poetic film. It is almost a art house picture in a way. I mean, the title Becky alone is definitely an indie movie title. If this were a studio picture, it'd be called, Kill House or the Girl Who Killed Too Much or something like that. It would have more of a commercial title. Becky isn't a commercial title, which sort of indicates that this is an indie film, and it does feel like that. One thing I do want to mention is that there are two different directors on the film, and they do a fantastic job. The film is very well directed. That's one of the things that really stuck out to me. I thought they did a fantastic job. There's some really inventive camera angles and a couple of little camera tricks that they use that really separate this movie from the pack of other indie survival horror kind of movies. So do I recommend it? Yes. I give this movie 5 stars. I recommend you go out and watch it. It's a really, really fun film. It moves, a little slow here and there, but it's a brutal film. Like I said, Becky, channels her inner Jason Voorhees. So gore fans are going to have some fun, and also survival fans are going to have their fun, and people who love the die-hard Home Alone genre, subgenre, are going to have a blast with this movie. I mean, it's fantastic. This movie really gives us sort of I don't want to say a kid's version of Mandy, but it's the same spirit. If you know Mandy, you know what I'm talking about. It's in the same ballpark as a Mandy, but sort of child size. Anyway, my friend, that's it for tonight's movie. I hope you enjoyed my look at Becky, and I hope it's piqued your interest into finding the film. Like I said, 5 stars. That's a high recommendation. I think you're going to have fun with this one. It's brutal. It's not really kid-friendly, but if you have a teenager, if you have a 12-year-old, 13-year-old, and they're sort of into horror, they might enjoy this movie quite a bit, especially because it sort of like amps up the home aloneness of it all. And my friend, I hope this video has found you happy, healthy, and well. I really appreciate your time, and I appreciate you sharing that time with me. I hope tomorrow you'll go out there and make somebody smile. And until we see each other again, I wish you the pleasantest of good nights.